So guys, as you can see, what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is nothing but prompt engineering is the process of structuring an instruction that can be interpreted and understood by a generative AI model. That means I already told you na, inside generative AI, prompt is everything, and whatever prompt actually you are giving to the generative AI model or your large language model, okay, this should be well structured. Okay, this should be well structured and well organized. Okay, otherwise what will happen? Your model will give random kinds of output. Okay, that is why here I have written the definition what is prompt engineering exactly. Okay, I hope it is clear now. Now, as a generative AI engineer, you should have some responsibility whenever you will be working with the large language model, whenever you will be preparing the prompt and all. See, here I have listed down some of the points. Write, refine and optimize prompts. Perfect the interaction between humans and AI. That means you always need to make sure whether your prompt is perfect or not. Okay, to communicate between human and AI. That means you will be communicating with your AI assistant. Let's say whatever, let's say application you are having with the help of large language model. Okay, there is a good interaction or not. Okay, the prompt actually you have given, you have to always make sure. Continuously monitor those prompts. You have to continuously monitor those prompts whether this prompt is perfect or not, and is there any change in the model or not. Then maintain and up to date the prompt. That means if let's say model got updated, let's say they again did the fine tune that particular model, and if let's say previous prompt is not working better, in that case what you can do, you can maintain and update that particular prompt for that large language model. So these are the key responsibility you should have as a generative AI engineer. Now let's try to understand why prompt engineering. Okay, so for this I'm going to show you one demo. I think this demo will give you the clear-cut idea why prompt engineering is super important if you want to work with the generative AI. So here you can see I have written a prompt. You can see this is a prompt I have written. Correct my paragraph. Today was the great day in the world for me. I went Disneyland with my mom. It could have been better if it wasn't raining. You can see some of the spelling mistake is there. That means grammatical mistakes are there in this paragraph I have written. So what I'll do, I'll give this prompt to my, let's say, large language model. So large language model wise, here I'm going to use ChatGPT. Okay, you can also use Google Bard or any other actually, let's say, model. It's completely fine. But just to show you the demo, actually I'm going to use the ChatGPT platform. Later on, whenever let's say we'll be implementing different let's say application with the help of large language model, that time actually we'll be using this prompt with the help of Python code. Okay, as of now, just to show you the demo, I'm going to use the ChatGPT application. So guys, as you can see, I'm inside my ChatGPT. Now let's say if I give this prompt to my ChatGPT, now let's say if I send it here, see what will happen. See, it has given me straightforward results without, let's say, explaining this like paragraph I have given, without, let's say, asking me any kinds of question. It has given me straightforward answer. So here is my paragraph, and here is the correct of my paragraph, correct version of my paragraph. Today was a great day for me. I went to Disneyland with my mom, and it could have been better if it wasn't raining. Okay, you can see. So here you can see this grammatical mistake I did. It is resolved, okay, by my large language model. Now let's say you are learning about English language, you are learning about grammar, you are learning about, let's say, spelling and everything. Like that means the complete, let's say, English guidance you want, okay, from your mentor. But as a mentor wise, what you want to use the ChatGPT, let's say your large language model. That time, instead of giving this kinds of prompt to the large language model, what you can give? So instead of giving the prompt like that, you can design your own prompt in an effective way. So let me show you another example. So guys, as you can see, this is the next prompt I have designed. So here is the prompt, guys. I want you to act as a spoken English teacher. I will speak to you in English, and you will also reply to me in English to practice my spoken English. I want you to keep your reply neat, limiting the reply to 100 words. I want you to strictly correct my grammar mistakes and typos. I want you to ask me questions in your reply. Now let's start practicing. You could ask me a question first. Remember, I want you to strictly correct my grammar and mistakes, typos and factual errors. Okay, so this is the prompt I have designed. Okay, see, previously the prompt I have given, it was like very straightforward prompt I had given, right? But now what I did, I just designed one very powerful prompt here. Now see what should be the response from my large language model right now. So let me give this prompt to my large language model. This is the prompt, guys, the same prompt I have given. Now let me send. Now see, it is giving me great. Let's start with a question. What is the most interesting place you have ever visited, and why did you find it so fascinating? Okay, now let me give the answer. Let's say the most interesting place I visited, India, because I loved Indian, okay, Indian food. Indian food. Okay, now you can also do some grammatical mistake. Let's say here I'll just write like that. Okay, now let's say this is my response I have given to my model right now. See, my model will try to correct. First of all, you can see here is the correct version. The most interesting place I have visited in India because I loved the Indian food. Now see the reply you have given. So there actually lots of spelling mistakes were there. There are lots of actually grammatical mistakes were there. Now it has corrected everything. Now as a learner, you can easily get to know, okay, so that's how actually you have to write this particular sentence. Okay, now you don't need any kinds of actual actually English teacher. Okay, with the help of these kinds of large language model, you can easily learn these kinds of syntax. Yes or no? Fine. Now again, it is, you can see it is asking me one question. Can you tell me more about your favorite Indian dish? That means now this conversation is like more interactive. It's not like straightforward answer it is giving me. It is like more interactive. The way actually human communicate with each other. Yes or no? Now yes, I can give another response. So here I can give I loved chole bhature. Okay, now let's see the output. So here is the correct version. I love chole bhature. What do you like most about chole bhature? Okay, so here I can write the puri. Now see, this is the correct version. I like the puri. What do you enjoy about the puri? Okay, now see, this conversation is more interactive. Now you can just keep on replying to the question actually this model is asking. That's actually you'll be learning about the correct, let's say grammar, correct, let's say spelling and all. Yes or no? Now see, with the help of just only one simple prompt design, I got like very interactive output from my large language model. Okay, this is called actually prompt engineering, and that's why it's useful. Okay, that's why it is important, because sometimes whenever you'll be creating any kinds of application, any kinds of LLM powered application, that time you have to design the prompt in such a way so that it can give the correct answer to the audience. Even it can be more interactive to the audience. That means those who are using your application, so they should enjoy your application. Yes or no? So guys, that is why it's like very interesting concept, and it's like very important concept inside generative AI you have to master. Now see, to master the prompt engineering, the first thing you should know about the linguistics. Okay, what is linguistics? Linguistics is nothing but it's a study of language. That means whenever, let's say, you are studying any kinds of language, let's say English language, inside English language you are having some kinds of let's say linguistics. Okay, what kinds of linguistics? You can see phonetics is there. So phonetics means the study of how speech sounds are produced and perceived. Okay, then there is another one called phonology, the study of sounds pattern and changes. That means whenever we are speaking any kinds of, let's say, language, like how this sounds look like. Okay, how these sounds look like, how you are pronouncing this particular word and all. This is called actually phonetics and phonology. Got it? Then there is another one called morphology, the study of word structure. Then there is another one called syntax. That means the study of the sentence structure. That means whatever grammar you usually learn inside English. Then you have also having the semantics. That means the study of the linguistic meaning. Then the next one is pragmatics, the study of how language is used in the context. Then historical, the study of language change. Then so on. Okay, you can see these are the actually linguistics are available to study about the language. Okay, and if you have good knowledge, on these kinds of, let's say, linguistics, definitely you can design a very good prompt for the large language model. So that is why I have written here, linguistics are the key to the prompt engineering. That means if you are having good knowledge about linguistics, definitely you can design a good prompt for the large language model. Now we have already studied about like large language model or our generative AI model, right? So there are different kinds of generative AI models are available, like GPT, BART, then Lambda, Palm, Bloom, Llama, Cloudy. Okay, then Nemo LLM. Okay, Generate. So these are the actually, apart from that, like there are so many large language models are available. I think I showed you one GitHub, right? I think remember Open LLM GitHub. There I think you saw thousands of large language models were there. And these are the provider and vendor. Okay, like those who are created this, these are the actually large language model. See, all kinds of large language model over the internet, all the large language model accept this prompt. Okay, that means you have to give the prompt there if you want to use this kinds of large language model. Okay, because this large language model is already trained with huge amount of data, huge amount of unstructured data. Even they also did something called supervised fine tuning. They also applied something called reinforcement learning technique to improve the quality of the model. That means this model is also trained with the instruction, lots of instruction. That means they did the chat operation with this model. I think I showed you one in one video, one of my video, I already explained how ChatGPT were trained. Okay, so that's why whenever they trained with this kinds of instruction data, that means they are passing the prompt. And whenever you want to use this particular model, you also need to provide the prompt. I think now it is clear why this prompt engineering is super important. And whenever you want to use any kinds of large language model, why you have to use the prompt engineering technique. That means why you have to give the correct prompt always to the large language model. Now let's learn about some best practices to design a prompt. See, if you want to design some best prompt for the large language model, you have to keep some of the point in your mind. Let's say the first thing, clear instruction. Definitely you have to give the clear instruction to the large language model. Then adapt a persona. Then specify the format, avoid leading the answer, and limit the scope. Okay, so these are the things actually you have to always remember. Now let's open our ChatGPT and let's try to see some of the best practices. Okay, we can perform whenever we're giving any kinds of prompt to the large language model. So guys, let's say if I give a prompt here, let's say I'll give when is the election. Okay, when is the election? Let's say this is my prompt. Okay, now see, if I pass this prompt to my large language model, let's see the output. It depends on which election you are referring. See, election can be vary by the country, definitely, because it's the correct one. Now you are asking what is the election, but you are not clarifying. Okay, you are not clarifying in which country you are referring. Okay, that means you have to always pass a clear prompt. Okay, clear instruction to the large language model. Now see, I can give this prompt like that: when is the next president election in USA. Okay, now see, this prompt is clear and it is like well organized for my large language model. Now see, if I pass, now see, this is the answer. The next US president election is scheduled for the November 5th 2024. Okay, now I'm getting the correct answer from my large language model. But whenever you are not giving any kinds of clear, let's say clear let's instruction to the model, it will give you unnecessary output. And again, it's a chargeable, because whenever you are using ChatGPT or let's say any kinds of let's say commercial large language model, it is charging based on the token, input and output token. I already showed you, okay, how it will count the token and how it will charge. So whenever you are getting this kinds of unnecessary output, that means unnecessary you are spending your money, yes or no? Okay, so that's why whenever you are using this kinds of commercial large language model, make sure you have the proper prompt, so that in just one prompt you will get the actual output you are looking for. Okay, this is what actually you have to always remember. Now let me give you another example. I'll just write a code to filter out the ages from data. So let's say this is my prompt I've given. Now see, my LLM model has given me this is the output. But let's say you are looking for Java code. So you are looking for Java code, but it has given you the Python code. Again, what you have given? You have given actually uncleared instruction to the model, yes or no, right? So you have to give the clear instruction always. Now you can write this prompt like that. Write a Java code, okay, to filter out edges from the data. Now see, now it is the clear instruction to my large language model. Now I will get the Java code. Now let's see the next one, like the adopt the persona. Okay, like what is the persona exactly? Whenever you are giving any kinds of let's instruction to the model, what kinds of persona you have to adapt there. Let's say this is one prompt I'm giving to my large language model. Write a poem for a sister's high school graduation that will be read out to the to family and close friends. Okay, let's say this is my instruction I have given to my large language model. Now see, here is the response I will get. So here is the response I got. That means this is my poem. Now if you read this poem, actually this is not actually much interesting, the poem actually I was looking for. Now what you can do, you can actually give the persona. Okay, you can give the persona whenever you are giving the prompt. So now let me show you another prompt I have designed for this. So this is the prompt, guys. Now here I'm writing, write a poem as Helena. Helena is a 25 years old and amazing writer. Her writing style similar to the famous 21st century poet Rupi Kaur. So I think you know about Rupi Kaur. You can also search about Rupi Kaur. See, she is actually a Canadian poet and illustrator. Okay, you can read about her. Now see, write as a Helena. writing as a Helena write a poem for her 18 years old sister to celebrate her sister's high school graduation. This will be read out to the friends and family at the gathering. Okay, now see, this is the prompt actually I've given. Now see, if I send it, if I send this prompt right now, now see the response actually I got here. Now if you read this poem, actually it is too good. It is too good than my previous response I got. Okay, so that's how actually you have to adapt the persona always. You have to adapt the persona, what kinds of things you are looking for. Now see, this large language model is already know about rupee core. Okay, because it is already trained. It is already trained, let's say around 2022 data. Okay, till 2022 data it has already trained, and in that data actually rupee core poem was there. Okay, that's why you all that's why this model is already known about rupee core, and it is trying to get the similar kinds of, let's say, poetry. Okay, whatever, let's say, poem actually rupee core used to write. Okay, the same actually syntax context actually it is trying to, let's say, gain. Now the next thing, you can also specify the format. Let's say what kinds of format you want as a output. Let's say what I will give you one example for the summarization. Let's copy one English story here. So let's say this is one English story. I'll just try to copy the entire story. And here I'll go to my ChatGPT and I'll just write, please summarize this story. Okay, summarize this story. Now I can pass the entire story here. Now see, I can send it. Now see, it is giving me the summary, but see, this summary again, it's a paragraph. Okay, it's a paragraph. Now I can also specify the format. Let's say I'll give, I want, I think I can copy the same instruction. Now here, just try to modify. Please summarize this story in bullet point. Okay, bullet point. Now see, I'm specifying the format. Now see, if I pass this, now see, it will give me inside a bullet point. Okay, now see, it's like more readable. Nah, it's more readable. It is giving me some actually important actually summary of this entire story. It is trying to return me. Okay, so that's how we can provide any kinds of format you need. Let's say you need a data and you need a JSON format data. You can also provide, I need a JSON format data. Okay, you can pass the prompt and it will give you that. So that's how actually whenever you are designing your prompt, you have to always keep these are the point in your mind. Okay, the point actually I listed down in my presentation. I think you saw that, right? Now there are some types of prompt are available. So the first type you can consider zero shot prompting, and the second type actually few shot prompting. Apart from that, actually there are like some types of prompts are available like emotional prompting and all, right? But this is not actually required. But if you want to create any large language powered application, so this two prompt actually very famous. So I have seen like people are using this to prompt a lot, like few shot prompting and zero shot prompting. So let's explore this zero shot and few shot prompting in the example. So again, I'll go to my ChatGPT. Now, first of all, let's write the zero shot prompting. Zero shot prompting means you are only asking the instruction, because see, this ChatGPT is already trained with huge amount of data. So this ChatGPT has already like lots of knowledge about, let's say, the data over the whatever data they have trained. Now let's say I will ask one question: when is the Christmas in America? Now see, Christmas in United States celebrated on December 25th each year. Okay, now it is giving me the answer. So this is called actually zero shot prompting. That means you have only give one prompt. Okay, one prompt, that means the instruction you have given, the question you have given. Okay, but let's say if I ask these kinds of question, now let's say if I ask this kinds of question, what is Bappi's favorite types of food? Okay, let's say this is the question I have given. Now say it will give you, I don't have the information about Bappi favorite types of food. Could you please provide more details, clarify to who is Bappi? Okay, now see here actually zero shot prompting is not working. So here you have to pass the few shot prompting that time. Okay, now see here I'll give a prompt. Now I'll just write Bappi is a data scientist and his favorite types of food are, or you can write food includes, let's say burgers, pizza, okay, and chicken. Now I can pass this prompt to my large language model. Now it will learn about me, okay, because I have given a few short prompt here. Okay, now see, got it, puppy, favorite types of foods are burger, pizza, chicken. And if you need any more details or have a questions, just let me know. Now here I can give another prompt. What is the, or I can write what restaurant. Now let's say this is the prompt I have given. What restaurant should I take Bappy to in Dubai this weekend? Okay, now see, if I pass, now see, it will suggest me some restaurant. Dubai has fantastic range of restaurant that caters a variety of tastes, since Bappy like burgers, pizza and chicken. Here is the few recommendations. So here is the restaurant. Now see, this is called actually few shot prompting. That means you are also giving some few shot prompt. That means some let's say information about the question you are asking. Okay, this is called actually few shot prompting. So these are the things, guys, you have to master. So see, this prompt engineering will come automatically whenever you will be writing these kinds of prompt. So unless and until you are not writing, you are not experimenting, you won't be able to understand, okay, which prompt will give you what kinds of output. So try to practice a lot. Okay, you have the ChatGPT, you can give different prompts and you can get the response from the ChatGPT. And the prompt actually you are giving to the ChatGPT, the same prompt you can use to any kinds of large language model. Okay, in future you will be using, whether it's a let's say Gemini, whether it's a let's say Mistral, Falcon, whatever let's say your model you are using, you can use it as it is. Fine. Now there is another concept inside actually generative AI model called AI hallucination. Now what is an AI hallucination? See, AI hallucination is when a large language model generates false information. That means let's say you are giving a prompt and that model is giving you the false information. Okay, so this is called actually AI hallucination. That means the prompt you are asking, the information you're asking, this information is not available to the large language model. Okay, so that time what we have to do, if we are getting this kinds of hallucination, so that time we can use something called RAG concept. That means retrieval augmented generation. That means we can connect our external data source to my large language model. Okay, and from that data sources my model can learn, okay, this is the information you are looking for. And if RAG is not working, that time what we can perform something called fine tuning of a large language model. I think I showed you. Now we can perform fine tuning with the help of Hugging Face. Okay, so I'll also show you how we can fine tune different kinds of large language model on top of our custom data. We can also perform fine tune operation, but fine tune is a costly task because here you need a good system, like lots of data. Okay, so again it's like very costly task, but RAG application is a very easy kinds of task. See, here you don't need lots of cost, here you don't need lots of computational power. Okay, so both will be exploring one by one, like what is RAG concept and what is, let's say, fine tuning concept, everything will be exploring. Okay, so yes guys, this is all about our prompt engineering. Now I think you got it why prompt engineering is super important and how you can master this kinds of prompt engineering technique. Okay, it's nothing but it's just a way of, let's say, communicating with your large language model. The input you are giving to the large language model, this is called actually prompt. Okay, and the way you are designing this particular prompt, this is called prompt engineering. Okay, I hope it is clear now.